ASEAN and China. Customs seized over 430 kilograms of ecstasy. Well, hello, good evening and salam Malaysia Badani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Well, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has emphasized the crucial need to maintain the present peace and stability in the ASEAN region while reinforcing the existing multilateral framework between ASEAN and China. Speaking at the 26th ASEAN-China Summit today, he said the future collaboration will depend largely on trust and multilateral discussions regarding security in protecting the interests of both parties.
And I would certainly stress, Mr. Chairman and Premier Lee Chiang, that future collaboration would depend largely on the issue of trust and discussions at the multilateral level in terms of security and protecting the interests both of China and ASEAN. And I would certainly express on behalf of my colleagues too how appreciative we are with your presence, Premier Lee Chiang, and hopefully with this event would further enhance the relationship between China and ASEAN.
The Premier also conveyed his confidence in the advancement of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area Agreement, FTA 3.0, an initiative set to significantly deepen regional economic integration. Datuk Seri Anwar then stressed the importance of fostering stronger cooperation in the field of agriculture, particularly in addressing pressing food security concerns and enhancing human resources through innovation, technology and technical education. On another note, Datuk Seri Anwar stressed that Malaysia also welcomes initiatives to boost cooperation with Japan and South Korea, especially in the area of green technologies to address climate change. The Premier said that climate change posed a significant threat to all globally. And he also said that the exchanging of technologies between ASEAN and South Korea will be beneficial for the Madani economic framework.
Malaysia's new Madani economic framework, for example, emphasizes empowering and internationalizing its MSMEs by facilitating their transition to digital business model. We stress the importance of green growth for climate sustainability and optimizing land use for food security. We'll prioritize low carbon and climate resilient socio-economic development while ensuring robust efforts in the conservation of natural resources and ecosystems.
In this regard, Malaysia welcomes the establishment of ASEAN ROK, or South Korea Co-operational Center for Carbon Neutrality and Green Transition. The ASEAN region is acutely exposed to climate change, with 5 of the world's 20 most at-risk countries located in the region. Unchecked climate change could drive down regional GDP by 11% by 2100 and lead to displacement of 87 million people in high-risk flood areas in Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand and Vietnam. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Ri'ajuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah hopes that the various problems faced by the Muslim community in Sabah can be solved immediately and fairly with the establishment of the newly launched Sharia court complex in the state. Well, His Majesty said there were many complaints previously regarding the delays of court rulings for small as well as big cases. Well, the King said it should be a collective responsibility to ensure that all matters related to family affairs, inheritance and Sharia laws are managed efficiently and promptly based on Sharia principles and elements.
Saya harap hakim-hakim yang telah diamanahkan untuk melunaskan tanggungjawab untuk mengurus segala masalah umat Islam di negeri Sabah ini akan dapat diselesaikan dengan seadil-adilnya sebaik-baiknya dan secepat-cepatnya. Kita tahu ada juga rungutan kerana kelewatan membuat keputusan-keputusan yang kecil ataupun keputusan yang besar.
Al-Sultan Abdullah said this after officiating the Sabah State Sharia Court Complex in Kota Kinabalu. The construction of the four-story court complex at the cost of over 58 million ringgit was part of the 10th Malaysia Plan's rolling plan and began on 9th November 2017 and was completed on 22nd July 2021. Investigations involving the case of criminal breach of trust, corruption and money laundering related to the Akal Budi Foundation funds will continue. Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said he left the matter to MACC investigating officers. On Monday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi was granted a discharge not amounting to an acquittal or DNAA on all 47 of his criminal breach of trust, corruption and money laundering charges in relation to Yayasan Akal Budi or YAB funds. The decision was made by Judge Datuk Colin Lawrence Sequeira after hearing 11 grounds that were submitted by Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Muhammad Dusuki Mokhtar in relation to halting the trial. In another development, Tan Sri Azam also confirmed that former 1MDB lawyer Jasmine Liu is currently being investigated. MACC is also working towards reclaiming the assets of 1MDB.
Dia ni dalam siasatan kita juga, so we are questioning her on other parts involving corruption and also money laundering.
Well, meanwhile, Tan Sri Azam said the electronic sports or e-sports industry is currently under the scrutiny of the MACC due to it being exposed to corruption and gambling issues. Well, he said corrupt activities in the e-sports industry are believed to occur in the form of digital transactions such as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which make it difficult for the authorities to detect.
So far, we just receive information. We yet to have any cases, tetapi it's kind of awareness to us now. Jadi kita kena bersedia. Kita jangan tunggu dah berlaku, baru kita benda dah berlaku. Tak boleh begitu.
He said the landscape of the sports industry became more challenging when electronic sports became a focus because of the potential and high commercial value the sector is able to generate. Furthermore, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, no legislation or policy framework that regulates the operations of e-sports operators has caused e-sports to be exposed to corruption. MACC is also working together with the Youth and Sports Ministry, or KBS, and other related sports agencies to handle the matter. Well, the Customs Department has crippled the activities of an international drug distribution syndicate with a seizure of 436.2 kilograms of ecstasy. Now, the drugs estimated at 32 million ringgit were seized at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport Cargo Complex on 29th of August. Customs Director General Dato' Zazuli Johan said officers on duty conducted an inspection on 36 boxes around 6:30 p.m. following a tip-off. Upon checking, they found colourful pills believed to be ecstasy in 12 boxes, while the remaining 24 boxes contain only bricks. Dato' Zazuli said the contents of the boxes have been declared as tools to deceive the authorities. He further noted that this was the biggest seizure of illicit drugs at the international airport this year. Now, this was also Customs' fifth drug seizure from the Netherlands at the cargo complex this year.
Siasatan awal mendapati barangan tersebut diimport dari sebuah negara di Eropah. Kalau kita cakaplah Netherlands. Okey. Dah mendarat di kompleks kargo kapal terbangsa Kuala Lumpur sebagai destinasi terakhir. Flight ini memang flight yang sama. Hasil disiapkan mendapati pengimport menggunakan baluan palsu dalam dokumen pengimportan menyebabkan susah kena tangkap. Dia punya final destination adalah KLIA.
Well, the Department of Veterinary Services, or DVS, said Malaysia has lifted the temporary suspension of the imports of live cattle and buffalo from Australia effective immediately. Well, commenting further in a statement today, it said the decision was based on the comprehensive investigation report shared by Australia's Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, or DAFF, after conducting 2 technical discussions with DVS. Well, DVS said they appreciate DAFF's transparency in helping the process to resolve this issue and hope that the decision would provide relief to the industry and Malaysian citizens. Malaysia imposed the temporary import ban on 4th August as a precautionary measure following claims by Indonesian authorities that signs of lumpy skin disease were detected in cattle imported from Australia. Now, DVS said all importers of live cattle and buffalo from Australia must submit an import application letter from the department before requesting a permit. The department also wants to emphasize that all import of live animals adhere to the stipulated SOP to ensure that every imported consignment undergoes thorough monitoring. Coming up in our foreign segment, at least 5 people killed as flash floods sweep through Turkey. Well, 3 men on board a catamaran off the northern or northeastern coast of Australia have been rescued after sharks tore off sections from the hull of their inflatable vessel. The Australian Maritime Safety Authority, or AMSA, said the 3 sailors, 2 Russian and 1 French citizen, were rescued early today. Now, they were picked up by a Panama-flagged vehicle carrier, the Dugong Ice, while floating in the Coral Sea, some 835 kilometers southeast of Cairns in Australia. Satellite photos and a video on the AMSA website showed a large part of the stern of the 9-meter yacht torn away. The authority said the sailors, aged between 28 and 64, had planned to sail from the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu of Cairns to Cairns, a distance of more than 2,000 kilometers. They activated an emergency distress beacon in the early hours of Wednesday morning. AMSA said the 3 sailors are due to arrive in Brisbane on Thursday. Joe Zeller, the acting manager of the AMSA Response Centre, said there's many reasons why vessels are attacked by sharks. However, the motivations of these sharks are unclear. The Coral Sea, where the men were found, is brimming with reef sharks, and according to the Australian government, it is home to more sharks than almost any other survey site in the world. Well, at least 5 people were killed after heavy rains triggered flash floods in northwest Turkey. Torrential rain has caused unprecedented flooding in southeast Europe, damaging infrastructure and prompting evacuations. Now, local media reported that 3 people died and 3 are still missing in Kırklareli province near the border with Bulgaria and Greece after houses were flooded late on Tuesday. Authorities said a further 2 people were killed and 31 more injured in Turkey's largest city, Istanbul, Başakşehir and Küçükçekmece districts. Images showed heavy downpours causing several cars to float in flooded waters of Istanbul's northern districts. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said search and rescue operations were continuing and pledged financial support to families in flood-affected areas. The governor's office said in a statement that around 125 kilograms per square meter of rainfall hit Istanbul in less than 6 hours, equal to what the city would typically expect in a month in September. Well, 2023 is likely to be the hottest year in human history, and global temperatures during the Northern Hemisphere summer were the warmest on record. Well, according to the EU Climate Monitor today. Now, heat waves, droughts and wildfires struck Asia, Africa, Europe and North America over the last 3 months with dramatic impact on economies, ecosystems and human health. The European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, or C3S, in a report said the average global temperature in June, July and August was 16.77 degrees Celsius, smashing the previous 2019 record of 16.48 degrees Celsius. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said scientists have have long warned that humans' fossil fuel addiction will unleash. And he added that the world's climate is imploding faster than it can cope, with extreme weather events hitting every corner of the planet. Now, record high global sea surface temperatures played a major role in stoking heat throughout the summer, with marine heat waves hitting the North Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea. Now, according to scientists, oceans have absorbed 90% of the excess heat produced by human activity since the dawn of the industrial age. This excess heat continues to accumulate as greenhouse gases, mainly from burning oil, gas and coal, build up in the Earth's atmosphere. Coming up in sports, Aaron and Wu Yik advance to second round as Zijia falls to Naraoka in China Open. Well, Badminton Association of Malaysia BAM Secretary General Dato' Kenny Goh and former world number one Rosalind Hashim have agreed to settle a defamation lawsuit. Now, Rosalind, the defendant, made an open apology in front of Judge Rosmawa Rosain to Dato' Kenny at the Kuala Lumpur High Court today. Rosalind said he regretted defaming the plaintiff, Dato' Kenny, on his social media account last year.
Kita pun dah sampai persetujuan lah tadi. Kita dua pun dah okey. So kita sekarang ni just fokus untuk badminton lah. Okay, untuk badminton Malaysia. Sebab banyak lagi big tournament lah after this Asian Game, Thomas Cup whatsoever. So saya dan juga Dato' Kenny pun ada juga bincang sikit, kita akan kerjasama untuk badminton kita lah.
When met outside the court, Dato' Kenny told the press that he accepted the apology and will move on from the episode. Dato' Kenny said the case has no bearing on Rosalind's position in the BAM Technical Advisory Panel.
Segala dah selesai dengan baik, so kita move on dan mungkin kita ada peluang nanti masa depan yang terdekat kita boleh duduk berbincang dan melihat bagaimana kita boleh berbincang dan untuk kebaikan badminton pada keseluruhannya.
Well, National Badminton men's doubles shuttlers Aaron Chia and So Wu Yik advanced to the second round of the China Open after defeating South Korean pair Choi Sol-gyu and Kim Won-ho in straight sets. Now, the national duo, seeded fourth, needed only 35 minutes to claim victory over their opponents. Well, in the action at the Changzhou Olympic Sports Center, Aaron and Wu Yik were in a class of their own as they dominated the first set 21-10. However, their opponents staged a tougher challenge in the second set, but the national pair kept calm to edge it out 25-23. Also advancing to the next round were mixed doubles shuttlers Cheng Tan-jae and To Yi-wei, who defeated Indian pair Rohan Kapoor and Neela Kuriki Siki Reddy 21-15, 21-16. And on the other hand, Malaysian professional shuttler Lee Zijia crashed out of the first round after losing to fourth-seeded Japanese Kodai Naraoka. Zijia went down fighting after 1 hour, 15 minutes, with the final score 24-26, 21-12, 11-21. Well, big-hitting Ben Shelton blasted his way past Francis Tiafoe 6-2, 3-6, 7-6, 6-2 and into the U.S. Open finals in an All-American matchup that lived up to its blockbuster billing. In the opening round of the 2008 U.S. Open, but the stakes were considerably higher on Tuesday with the... And Mason Greenwood was greeted by thousands of fans as the 21-year-old was unveiled as a Getafe player on Tuesday. The Manchester United striker has joined Spanish side Getafe on loan until the end of the season. Greenwood had been suspended since January 2022 by Premier League club Manchester United over the allegations, but prosecutors dropped the charges, including attempted rape and sexual assault in February. After announcing the loan deal with Getafe on Friday, United said in a statement that the move enables Greenwood to begin to rebuild his career away from Old Trafford. Getafe coach Jose Bordalas has promised the club will help Greenwood find his best level. In our business segment, rakyat to enjoy better prices for 5G connectivity. Well, Malaysia needs to learn from China to leapfrog its economy, particularly in terms of technology, innovations and manufacturing. Now, the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry said that despite the slowdown in China's economy affected by the property development and construction sectors, the country's manufacturing and technology sectors are still doing very well.
I'll try to translate.
Deputy Minister Liu Chintong said the country must try to upgrade technologically to produce by adopting automation as well as making digital arrangements.
Prime Minister Anwar mentioned or gave a speech, the economic Madani framework and the new industrial master plan. Both are aimed at leapfrogging. That means we do not want to stay in the same place. We do not want to do business as usual. We want to leapfrog. We want to do things differently, and we want to aim at a higher level, a level in which we will play at the level of higher wages, higher productivity, and higher growth.
Liu said this after launching the 5th Malaysia-China business-to-business matching in conjunction with the 20th China-ASEAN Expo 2023 today. On the expo, he shared that Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim will be attending the exposition on 17 September in Nanning, China, and the visit seeks to strengthen ties between the two countries. Well, the rakyat will enjoy cheaper prices for 5G devices thanks to the close ties collaborations between the Communications and Digital Ministry, or KKD, telecommunication companies and South Korean-based tech company Samsung. Minister Fahmi Fadil said the current usage rate of 5G is only at 4.2%. He said that one of the reasons that 5G usership is still low is because the prices of 5G devices are still quite high and not affordable. Towards increasing this, the minister raised several related issues, as well as potential further collaboration with Samsung during his visit to the company's headquarters in Seoul.
Hari ini kita di Suwon untuk bukan hanya melawat Ibu Pejabat Samsung Electronics, tapi juga untuk melihat satu use case penggunaan smart devices dalam rumah yang quite futuristic. Ini adalah di Samsung Experience Home.
On 31st August, the government launched the 5G Rahmah package, which offers 5G-ready devices, including a Samsung smartphone worth 949 ringgit at a price of only 240 ringgit. Fahmi said the package is only a glimpse of more such initiatives to be implemented by the government in future. Well, short-term interbank rates closed stable today on Bank Negara Malaysia BNM's operations to absorb surplus liquidity from the financial system. Now, liquidity in the conventional system fell to 37.31 billion ringgit from 39.84 billion ringgit this morning, while Islamic funds liquidity rose to 22.69 billion ringgit from 22.28 billion ringgit previously. Well, earlier, the central bank conducted 2 conventional money market tenders, 2 reverse repo tenders, as well as a Bank Negara Interbank Bills BNIB tender. It also announced the availability of reverse repos, sale and buyback agreements and collateralized commodity murabaha facilities for tenors of 1 month and 3 months. At 4 p.m, BNM called for a 37.3 billion ringgit conventional money market tender and a 22.4 billion ringgit murabaha money tender, market tender, both for one-day money. Now, the Malaysia Islamic Overnight Rate, or MYORI, stood at 2.97% as of 5th September. Well, the Malaysia-Australia Business Council, or MABC, is ready to collaborate with relevant Malaysian industries and institutions to contribute to the new Industrial Master Plan 2023, or NIMP 2023 or 2030, by facilitating bilateral trade, technology and knowledge transfer, investor engagement, skills and workforce development, and sustainability and environmental initiatives. So, well, elaborating further through a statement today, the Council said it intends to play a pivotal role within the NIMP NIMP 2030 framework, aiming to utilize MABC expertise, networks, and resources to boost foreign direct investment or FDI growth and support the 9 mission-based projects, MBPS, and enabler approaches crucial for the master plan's success. MABC said it is keen to contribute to the mission 1, which focuses on advancing economic complexity through collaboration and trade partnership. MABC will act as a conduit for exchanging technological expertise and knowledge between Malaysian and Australian companies, which will aid Malaysia's progress in Mission 2, where technology, adoption and innovation are key goals. MABC said it planned to engage with potential Australian investors interested in contributing to the growth of industries highlighted in NIMP 2030, facilitating dialogues and networking opportunities to attract FDI, aligning with the investor one-stop portal concept within the master plan. Well, the Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Ministry is framing the Environmental, Social and Governance or ESG practice guidelines for the micro, small and medium enterprises or MSMEs. Well, according to its Deputy Minister, Saraswati Kandasamy, the measure is important for the implementation of standardized and systematic ESG practices in the business.
Draft panduan itu sudah sedia dan SME Corp pun dalam usaha untuk melibat urus dengan pihak-pihak ada kepentingan seperti bank dan sebagainya supaya kita dapat satu standard framework yang boleh diguna pakai oleh semua pihak. Jadi SME tidak perlulah mempunyai pandangan yang berbeza-beza di antara satu sama lain apabila mereka ingin melaksanakan ESG practice.
Meanwhile, SME Corp Chief Executive Officer Rizal Naini said his company has provided training for several entrepreneurs through PKS Lestari initiative in order to support ESG-based industries.
Jadi kita kena memberi ilmu dan juga kesedaran kepada mereka untuk ESG ini dan setakat ini kita dah melatih sebanyak 400 SME ya dalam industri minyak dan gas, dan pada bulan September ini, akhir bulan September ini, insya-Allah lah sebanyak lagi almost about 100 SME dalam industri electrical electronics akan dilatih berkenaan dengan ESG.
Well, that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, maintain present peace and stability between ASEAN and China. Till then, I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos. Malaysia Madani, Tekat Perpaduan, Penuhi Harapan. Thanks for watching.